All right, so we're going to be going over the possible options when it comes to rerun banners for version 4.5 with phase 1 and phase 2, and we'll be going over possible scenarios for two different possible outcomes. Number one is we have a 3-character rerun banner, much like we currently do, or on the adverse where it's just one other character. And the two things that we can easily slot in is that phase 1 is going to be Robin Sommererto. We can see right here she was drip marketed first, and then Aventurine Wave Flare, and we have accordingly put this in here. So to assist us, we are going to be using urbansol.gg to understand banner history for characters to figure out who has the possibility of getting re-ran and roughly when, and try to figure out if it makes sense for a specific character to rerun or not. So looking at what we just have and just currently have, obviously we have Sparksy, Dawnhung PT, Evernight, Saridra, Anaxa, and Aventurine. So none of those 6 characters obviously will be rerunning. Now for version 4.3 we had Cyrene, Finon, and Yao Guang. Again, none of those characters will be rerunning because it is too close. Jumping back one more patch to anniversary patch and 4.2, we had Tribi, Sunday, Fei Xiao, Dahlia, Castris, and Firefly. And I don't think any of those specific characters will be rerunning as well. So how many does that take off the board? Well, we got 6 right here. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 characters who I don't think would be rerunning, simply because of the fact that it is too soon for said characters to be rerunning, and I just don't see any point of that happening. Now, for the first character that I do think will be rerunning, and that is going to be Ash Vale. I'm going to put him right down here. We're just going to bring up the potential options, and then we'll, go over where I think they'll be coming. And the reasoning why I think Ash Vale is going to be rerunning is twofold. He came out in 4.1. It's going to be 4.5. It's going to be 4 patches. He came out in April. This patch is going to be going out later this month, near the end of August. I do think it is time for him to be rerun, also because of the fact that his synergy with Aventurine Wave Flare is just so good. Now, moving a little further down, well, we can see all these two characters, no, they will not be coming back, and you will not be coming back. So we also have the possibility of a Rappa rerun, a Hysolins rerun, or even a Hyacinth rerun. And now between all of those, who do I think is the most likely outcome to be reran? Well, it is actually going to be Hysolins, because of the fact that in terms of a DOT character, when was the last time we had a DOT character? Boom, 4.0, along with Black Swan, because she got her Nova Flare buff. So that is what I think is a possibility. And we also have Hyacinth. And the reasoning with her is because it flushes out the reruns for the Remembrance team, something that, Robin Sommererto is extremely good on. So that is another possibility. Now we jump back a little further. I think we're going to probably stop near 3.7. We've already gone over Hysolins. We've already gone over Castris. Tribi, I don't think will be coming back, as I said, because it is too soon. So what does that leave us with? It leaves us with Cypher, Mighty, and Cyrene. And these are characters where I think the likelihood of them getting a rerun is actually a little more concrete. I take that back. Not Cyrene. I forgot. That's my bad. Where are you? Cypher. Here we go. So these are characters I think could get rerun. We also have the possibility, quite frankly, of the anniversary main pushes, that being Silver Wolf level 9s and that being Evanescia. So out of all of these characters who I think are the most likely candidates to be reran, obviously we have so many older characters. I don't think they will be included. If anything, I think what would happen is if they get added to the invitation, and those characters I think would be Jingliu. I think it's the possibility of Topaz being involved, and then oh man, I think it's probably just those two characters. Being possibility of inputting your 50-50 loss could be one of these two characters. That's just what I personally believe. Now, going over the other characters, we got what, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. We have 7 characters. This is what I think is most likely going to happen. In phase 1 with Robin, I definitely think we could see a rerun for Ashvale, and then I definitely can see a rerun for Hyacinth. And the reasoning why I think both of these characters would be rerunning alongside Robin is very easily explainable. Like I said, with Ashvale, he works extremely well with Aventurine SP, and the reasoning why they would not have him in the same patch as Aventurine is for players who decided to skip him and not realizing his value and how good Ashvale is. They have the possibility of pulling him now in preparation for Aventurine, so that's a lot more money being spent, or free-to-play Stellar Jades being spent, and then subsequent money being spent later down the road. Hyacinth, I get, for some reason I get the two names mixed up. I don't know why. Hyacinth, I think, could be rerun here because of the fact that healing is beneficial for Robin for getting her vibe counts. Also a remembrance character, so that's very important. And also because of the fact that if we look back at all of the subsequent patches, we have remembrance, little gap, remembrance. And I think this is probably the last time for quite some time that we will see the remembrance flagship characters, and I think they want to try to squeeze out the last bit of money they can out of vertical investment for all of the characters, including their light cones. Now, moving over to phase 2, what do I see happening? I could definitely see Cypher possibly getting a rerun because of the fact that she's able to reduce the enemy's defense, and currently at this current point, Aventurine Wave Flare is the strongest DPS character in the game, so having a character being able to provide defense reduction is going to be pivotal and important. And the other character that I do think will get rerun would be Hyacinth. Again, DOT character. I think they every once in a while want to rework DOT in, as that's a very popular team archetype for vertical investment as well. I definitely see that is probably going to be the most likely outcome for reruns. Unfortunately, I think Mighty is just, he's in a very weird situation just as a character as a whole. I just don't see the ultimate value as him. Another possible options we have here that I will actually talk about is going to be Herta and Aglaya. And this is where we get to the point of a 3-character banner. And I definitely think that this would be a more likely outcome for 3-character banner for a patch for both phases. If that isn't the case, unfortunately, I think it would probably be these two right here. It's very much front loaded, but because phase 2 Aventurine is so good, he kind of needs and is very capable of carrying phase 2 all by himself. Now, you might notice I did not talk about the 2 anniversary characters, SW9s and Evanesia, and that's because I do think they're going to be coming out in 4.6. I think we are going to have a patch of not having them out, and then they will be coming out with the likes of Pearl. But yeah, I definitely think that these are probably, well, these two I think are very much like locked in for this patch, whatever phase they're on. Obviously I don't know. These two I'm a little more up in the air, but in conjunction with how good Aventurine is, I can definitely see an outcome where they might put characters on phase 2 that maybe aren't necessarily that impactful or sell very well, because they know with how Event Train is and how many people are already talking about him in the community, that the phase 2 rerun banners might be a little weaker, because Event Train is fully capable of carrying phase 2 all by himself. Phase 1 I think is going to be more front loaded for the entirety of the patch, just because of how good and how great of a generalist support Robin is. So I could definitely see a scenario where phase 1 is definitely more front loaded. But yeah, that's gonna be all for me, guys. Let me know what you think about the possibility of reruns for 4.5, and I'll see you in the next video.